Hello again, Pete here. As I seem to say every time, just another update on the Dick Tracy Shelby Series 136 Ford mingling hybrid doodad. I don't know what I'm going to call this. What would you describe it as? Answered in the comments below. And the dog's starting to whine at me. Really, I wanted to sort of go through some of the changes because they've gone pretty well and quite smoothly. I wouldn't say easily, but I haven't had to struggle. Certainly not thinking about the concept of it and getting a flow of ideas for this. And really, the sizes have worked out pretty well. As you know, I've cut the sides out of the car and attaching them to the side body there. But I thought, we don't really want to waste these vents. And they're going to cause an amount of drag, aren't they, anyway? So I thought, I'm going to duct all the way through and move the radiator back. So I looked at what there was for parts for that, for the radiator, but that's disappeared now. I want it. And so I've gone ahead. I've cut my holes through there and playing around with the bonnet as well, hood. I've managed to work out a way of extracting the air as well. So we'll come to that in a minute. Let's whip the roof off for a sec. If I gobbledygook that up, that's just the Plymouth interior just dropped in, which was quite handy if I choose to use it, and not go ahead and use the Shelby seats in the original part, in the original kit tub, because there's loads of room in there. And they've all got to go somewhere. Overall, these have got, I think, nicer detailing with the sort of padding bits along there. See all that? And I think these are more, I'm going to use them in a more open car, whereas these, although they've got this, well, that is what they've got, a rather textureless and very moulded, cheaper look. Well, not exactly cheaper, is it? I don't know. But anyway, so I might well use these even in the 40 body 39 36. Bloody hell, what year is it? I don't know. There, and use the roll cage. So I think that gives a mil or two height increase. A bit on the skew there. Sorry about that. So it's all still up on the air, in the air on that. But I have sort of been looking at how I actually cut the car up, because not only, could I use the seats and interior parts out of either kit. I'm just trying to get that where I want it and steady. I've also, got the whole front and took that off as more or less a panel, so as all the lights will fit, or any grills will still all be usable or adaptable or something. It's not just saw through the whole lot, I only want the side bits, and not consider what you might be able to do with the other. Like I say, I'm going to fit the hood, bonnet, now adapted that and trimmed it down a bit, to coming out the back end and giving me a rear vent. The windscreen frame, windshield, I've took out as a complete unit so as the glass will still fit. I don't know whether that doesn't end up on another project in the future. The interior bucket itself isn't much use on this project, but by keeping the centre section of that and the rear tail lights complete, I don't know that might not fit in some other project, because it's very much like an early Corvette seat curve. You know, it might work well in some other roadster or something. I don't know, so I don't destroy them. These are, if I pan back out a bit, these parts are the front wheel wells, inner wheel wells. They're quite nicely, I'll get rid of that box lid. Bucket in the, that way round, Peter. Right, these actually do, I've tried them a minute ago, and they fit quite nicely into the rear end. You know, to replace the arches. Because what I intend doing is using the kit wheel, which I'll come back to in a minute, and narrowing all it. I was going to have to narrow the axles anyway, so I'll narrow them radically and go for, you know, using the kit wheel inside. Because you don't actually really need a lot of chains to actually fit them under. On here also, the kit fuel tank fits quite nicely across the back end area. So I'll see about adapting the Shelby fuel tank. The in up there. And then I've got the hood, which I've started grinding away into the back area to help me let it in there and there. And with a bit of heat distortion along the back there over a candle and bending it, with this being cold, that being hot and soft, I quickly pressed it in and got the general shape. So that will fit in there. Using either by cutting this out or not bothering and just using the top half of the kit rumble seat cover. And then drilling into that to let that in for the Cobra filler cap up there. That's someone's nose. Hey, look at that. Ming the Emperor. Then changing the roof completely so as this fits on the top. How about that? And then start playing around like this. Just lay things around, get shapes. I mean, even just cutting that back off, will that totally let back in and give me the Shelby rear tail lights? Flip it upside down and slide it under. You know? Or that spoiler, will it go on the roof? I don't know, where's the roof gone? But messing around with the different shapes of plastic. I noticed here's the rear rumble seat. The inside's a lovely scoop shape. And if you were ducting something else, that might be brilliant to guide the air through it. You know, and out the back end. It still might be, I don't know. But this is the whole point of customising this and using your imagination. On the sides I've been working on this one to thin all the gills out and open the gill intake out a lot. And while I was heating that there, I pressed a bit more in that centre section to get slightly more bulge than the kit had originally. And done them with the same finger on both sides and hope that they're reasonably symmetrical. This is how thick the kit slot was. I don't know whether I can get that in there. And I've now thinned that down to so it's only a mil or so, and I'll get these aligned, grill behind there, a duct into the side bodywork, which has now got a hole through it. I'll be able to line the ducting up through the hole through there that you can't see through, because there you go. Anyway, pull that back over there. and slide it all down across through there under the fuel tank. There's quite a lot of gap with the seat being moulded in on the rear. You flip that over, big hole there, and that's going to help me with getting the transmission in, and the ducting will go either side, I suppose. I'm thinking off the top of my head here as we speak. Oh, how about that? Cut away through there, duct through there. Wrong way around, Peter. Well, yippee. We're most of the way there in 15 minutes of playing around with plastic bits. Look at that, even the fuel tank wants to just sit above it. Radiator's behind here, and we're away. Bit of plumbing. Even the back, the engine wants to play, as it's got all the water pump features around the back side of the engine. There's actually a set of hoses in this kit that take the water pipes, come from the rear of the engine over the top of the engine to the radiator in the front. So they've done that conversion for me. That whole part there has got the water system in it. So I'll guide that water system down the car and round to my radiator and back again. Well, you know, I've got some hose somewhere. You buy it on a roll, you know. Use the bloody stuff up. Going back to the wheel, they've got a trick idea here. They give you a disc that you mount in the centre of the wheel. I don't know how you feed the pipe to this caliper that they don't give you, but they do expect you to trap that disc in between the wheel and feed it on the axle. That's the only really duffed thing I've found. But we move on, didn't we? I was thinking, it led me to think about Jag IRS, Jaguar Independent Rear Suspension. We use that a lot over here, and that has inboard discs. So the discs are mounted near the transmission. And I thought, with that big hole I've got underneath, if I had inboard discs, we'd have some sort of hatch. Yeah, that way up. That gave you access to the calipers. Yeah. Well, it's all, I suppose it's thinking out of the box. It certainly helps me. It's been some sleek exercise in jiggery pokery. Anyway, that's really what I wanted to say, is this was going really, really well. Have a go if you want to cut something up. I only want 2 rear wheels this wide at the back to give it a bit of, once I've pointed it in a straight direction, it will go quick. So I might not actually use these wheels. I might look in my well, I will. I'll look in my spares box and see if I've got something similar sized. But, you know, I might have a couple that are just a pair and use them. Work on a plan of an inboard disc, or not, depending on what the wheels turn up. And continue. It's all going very well on this. But I want to get the bulk of it done in one sort of hit, so as anything that needs to set will be set aside and setting for a bit before I come back to any heavier other work on it. It's nice to work out in total what the plan is, really. That's it for now. Thanks for watching, all my old subscribers and new subscribers, and everybody else who doesn't subscribe. Hope you're well and all. Best wishes from jolly old England. Bye.